And welcome to the Free SEO Show. My name is Josh Bashinsky. Today we're going to be going over a over-the-shoulder SEO tutorial. I'm going to be showing you guys how I actually do some work with SEO Copilot, our new AI tool that is built to save you hundreds of hours of time for on-page and thousands of dollars of work. There's many ways to monetize SEO. There's many ways to monetize SEO Copilot. I'm going to show you over the shoulder a couple of the ways that I'm doing it today. What's this on my shoulder? It's a drop of something. I got a drop of water there or something. Is there a leak in my roof? What's going on? And so today I'm going to be showing you how to monetize a lot of that stuff, how we could use it. There's all kinds of ways you can monetize SEO Copilot. It doesn't just have to be doing SEO work, building pages, or analyzing keywords. We can do more than that. And we've got more features coming up, so I'm going to show you that in a couple seconds. A couple housekeeping things to get done. The best and most used, the most often used segment on the show is Josh broadcasting to YouTube correctly. I just checked and I am, so congratulations to me. So that's good. Another thing is this is a live show and you're free to watch. We have the best free SEO advice online, SEO tips and tactics. We have the best mastermind group that you can join. And we have the best SEO software that you can get discounts on. You can email me for all those things. You know what? I will even be a professional. And I will put my email address in there like I had planned this or something, like I knew what I was doing. There we go. And make sure, however, when we go live at 11 a.m. on every Tuesday Pacific time, make sure you click the bell and smack the monkey, punch the goat, do a high flying scissor kick to the gorilla, whatever you need to do down there to press the button and like and subscribe. Make sure you like it, please, and make sure you subscribe. So you're told when we go live. So you could be here to ask questions because I'll answer any SEO questions you have. Ask me anything in the chat there on the right-hand side. You should see it, I think, over there. And ask me any SEO questions you want. You can also email me and ask me any SEO questions there you like as well. Okay, so let's get down to it. So today we're doing an over-the-shoulder tutorial on how to do a lot of different kind of SEO. And I'm going to show you me working on an actual client. So I'm going to show you real SEO work, did a real SEO for 25 years of me, how they do it, and how I'm using this tool. So let's get started. Without any further ado, as the French might say, I'll have a sip of my Mexican Coca-Cola. Here we go. And let's get started. Here we go. Okay. So I'm doing work for this client here called Condor Builders. They are a contractor in California. And so I've been doing consulting for them for a little while now. And I've been doing a fair amount of work for them. So what I did is I started off with an SEO audit. So I did a page audit for them. I took their one URL they submitted and one query they submitted, and I did an overall evaluation. Now, here's some crucial time-saving tips for you doing SEO. All this data I got from SEO Copilot. So, where is it? Where is it? Here it is. So all the data I got from SEO Copilot here, let me just make sure I'm sharing my whole screen here so you can see the whole thing. I got from SEO Copilot here. You could see I run their keywords through here. I did a lot of different keyword research for them. We're going to be talking about that in a second because it's crucial to start with keyword research, of course, for your SEO campaign. And I copied and pasted that all from SEO Copilot. We also have a new feature we're building here. This is on the staging server. You can see we're building just got some typos, a one-page audit. It's actually an on-page audit. Sorry, my developer, English is his second or third language. And I did this manually for them when I built this. I did this manually. I took pieces and I copied and pasted it in, got the URL, title tag, meta description, H1, body content, the contact predictability, the query intent alignment, how their pages align to the query intent that Google is going to boost. If you're not speaking to the query intent, is what SEOs call it, or I call it query interpretation. That's more true to actually what it is and how it works and what Google calls it. It's the alignment of your page to the actual interpretation of what Google thinks that page should be ranking for. The HTML structure that Google is going to boost. I got all that raw data from SEO Copilot. in a keyword spy report, in a report, in an article builder here. But we have a new feature coming out that's going to be able to do that for you automatically. So let me show you kind of how it works. You launch a new audit here, and then when it's done, you're going to click on the details, and it's going to give you all the metrics as long as it can import the content. This one had trouble importing the content from this page. But it's going to give you how difficult that particular keyword is, the query intent for the keyword, the HTML widgets you should be using for the keyword. It's going to give you all the semantic scores, where you're ranking for it, how tough it is, what the keyword was. And you can also export as a PDF. And that PDF is pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. It's made this way so you can white label it. So you can take the PDF and the automatic on-page report that gets done, the on-page audit, which is a way better than anyone else's on-page audit. Quite frankly, everyone else's on-page audit, like Ahrefs or whatever, they'll just give you technical shit that really, between you and me, is not really that big of a ranking factor. It doesn't really matter. That's kind of what any of these other audits will do. So this is a much more robust, a much more important kind of AI audit, and it's going to be just a few clicks for you to do. It's super cool. And so, yeah, it's going to have that data for you. So it's using this tool that I used to build this audit I made for them. And then what I did to flesh it out, to explain things, is I just pasted it all in ChatGPT. And I said, hey, ChatGPT, here's an SEO audit. Please explain all these features and factors to the client, explain why they're good and bad, and then give me the summary at the end of the key action points of what they need to do. And it did it pretty much right out of the gate. So that was good. That was fantastic. So I was able to use that for them. I closed it down. Docs. Okay, so that was the audit I built for them. And then after that, so again, this is going to be an over the shoulder of how real SEOs do SEO. So after that, then they hired me for the consultation. That was kind of like a free, get them in the door kind of an idea. So, I mean, you can definitely use this. I mean, it's a tried and tested way of selling SEO. It's a tried and tested way of getting clients, is give them something free to start, right? If you're doing it for free, you can do this on most SEO forums. You'd be like, hey, I'll run an audit for you for free. No cost at all. I'll do an audit for your page. If you're having trouble, let me know what the URL is. I'd be like, okay, great. I've got the audit done. Give me an email to send it to. And then they give you your email, or you take it to private message. And then when you have them an email or private message, then you can upsell them and be like, okay, this is what you need to do. My services to do this would only be whatever, some kind of introductory price. Now, what would be a good introductory price for Western prices? Well, for Western prices, I've charged anywhere from $500 to $5,000. I've charged far more for SEO, 10 to 15 to 20 grand per month, depending on the client. It depends on this exact factor here. So when you check them out and you do the audit for them, and you notice how much money they can make in that niche, then you'll have an idea of how much you can charge them, right? And you want to start low. So if you see here in SEO Copilot, it's like, okay, what do? They do roofing. Okay, great. Kitchen remodeling. Oh, look, they can make some money doing that. Kitchen remodeling, they can make some money doing that. Deck construction in Folsom, they can make some money doing that. So you've got to get a sense of the money these guys are making. Now, this is what they can make. This is not what they're making yet, because they didn't think of deck reconstruction. I found that for them. And they didn't think of roofing. I found that for them, right? And that was part of my job. And the next stage of what they hired me to do, and what I pitched, is said, next thing we should do is I should find all the lucrative keywords for you and find out where the money actually is and really enhance your bottom line and make you more money. I can do this report. It'll take a couple of weeks. And I think I charged them $500 for that report. So I think that was my next step in this particular project. And it's another great, let me show you what that looked like. It was the keyword ROI analysis, right? So I made this niche keyword report for them. I also included related niches that weren't necessarily what they were looking for, like new home builders, El Dorado. I didn't know if they would build new homes. Some contractors do. So I added it here just in case. And as you can see, all I did is I took a copy and paste from Keyword Discovery. I just took a copy and paste for all the good keywords, and I just put them in there. And I also, when I went through, I favorited them so I would know what I'm going to be working with when they hire me. I've favorited those already because I've already looked at the keyword list. I don't want to double up my time, right? I don't want to have to, because I'm going to completely forget all of this. Right? I've got so much work with so many clients, and I'm I'm the CEO of two businesses, and I have a personal life. Heaven forbid I have a personal life outside of this. I'm not going to remember any of this data, right? I'm going to have a general remembrance. Oh yeah, right. Roofing will make a lot of money for these guys. I should really push them to try to rank for roofing. They said, oh yeah, we can do roofing, and they just never thought of it being their moneymaker. Well, it can make an F ton of money. At least here, it has the best ROI anyway, based on the kind of different, some of the different ideas that they've had. Although kitchen remodeling and bathroom remodeling in some places, as you saw here, can make good money for them as well, depending on the city that we're going for. But some cities don't make any good money for that. So there's a real difference in, of course, the demographic, a real difference in terms of the service. But so I upsold them. I realized that I should keep the budgets low. So you might want to charge them something like $300 to $500 for another report, if at all possible, and or for a full site audit, because I didn't do a full site audit. I just did the one page. But because they're a completely new site, I know that they don't have very many rankings, so it doesn't really matter. I didn't need to do a full site audit for these guys. So that's good that I just skipped that and saved that expense and saved that time for the customer, because that's a way that I can provide value for them, right? Which is a good thing. Although I checked their search console just to make sure they didn't have traffic, and they do. They're already ranking in Google for a couple of things, which is really good news for me, because that means that Google likes their business entity. Google thinks they're a reputable business enough that they're already sending them traffic. Not a hell of a lot, like 5 clicks, but they're already sending them traffic, and they're already trying them for other areas, and people are already searching them in Google as well. And so it's good that they're finding them. And so that could actually be really good for certain signals. If you have any questions about some of those signals I'm talking about, if you're like, what SEO signals are you talking about here, Josh? Email me at joshpashinsky@gmail.com. I'd be happy to tell you how we can get that information to you. We have hours and hours of testing when it comes to every single SEO signal that exists. And we've got tons of tactics that we can help you there with in my mastermind group that will allow you to crush it. You can crush it. You, like this, crush it. Okay, so that's what I upsold them, and it's kind of like a little bit of upsell every time, and you give them something positive every time, and make it look as professional as possible. So I made them this 45-page report. This is 45 pages, as you can see here, and it took me like Josh, 45-page report. That must have taken you 4 or 5 hours. Nope, it took me like an hour, 2 hours to make. Because I used AI to do it, right? So that's another golden tip for you is you can, and I knew it was a discrete cost. It was discrete. It was billable. It was quotable. I knew what I could do. I knew I could do it. I knew how long it would take. I knew it would be worth it for them to pitch it at that price of $500. And I knew that it would be worth it for me to do because, making $250 an hour is not too bad, not that bad of a salary. And I knew it would be easy enough for me to do using SEO Copilot and its various features doing it. Now, I did not use that. I did not use the new page audit feature for this. This was all, as you can imagine, keyword discovery. This is where I did all of these, right? I asked them, what are all the services you offer? And I asked, what are the services you offer? And what are all the areas you want to offer it in? And I ran them all. I ran contractors for those different areas to get general senses. And then also I ran contractor for all those areas with the area in the name for global for all locations. Because you don't know, there could be someone in Los Angeles who's trying to get a vacation home built in Granite Bay or El Dorado Hills. And they're doing the search from Los Angeles, but they want to move there. So, and they're typing in El Dorado Hills. So I did it for all the areas with the name, and then I did it for all the areas without the name to see the different searches relative to the actual location of where they are. And I got all this information for them here. Some make a lot of money. Some make decent money, like ADU construction, patio construction. Some make, apparently they don't seem to make a lot of money, but that is kind of elusive, right? That's kind of, like I guarantee to you that a roofer who's ranking number one for roofing contractors, El Dorado Hills, which is what you'd replace the near me with El Dorado Hills, CA. Anyone ranking number one for roofing contractors, El Dorado Hills, California, is making more than $54 a month. I can fucking guarantee you. Look at how high the CPC is here. Now it is down 32% in the last 6 months. There's an economic downturn, as we all know. It is down, and there's only 40 searches, but you're going to get a good 30% of those clicks, right? You're going to get a good 5 to 10 clicks out of that. You sign one of them, and you're going to be making like 15 grand that month, because roofing is not cheap typically. So you just got to sign one of them, right? So that's where the keyword ROI, this KRB, this keyword review ballpark, is just a rough approximate, but it does allow us to do an apples to apples comparison to be like, look at, people are bidding this to be here. You know they make a lot of money if they're bidding that much. And so the money value here is valid to compare it against like this. This has no money. Even though it's up 200% for steel roofing in El Dorado Hills, California, no one's bidding on it. And there's only 10 searches. So to rank number one for this, you're going to get 3 clicks tops. You're going to get 30% out of that per month, right? 3 clicks tops, probably. If you sign one of them, yeah, you're going to make good money. So we're still going to try to rank for it, presuming they provide that service. And even if they don't, I might build the pages anyway because it's easy. And then when my client's like, but Josh, I don't do that, what am I going to do? And I'm going to say, okay, I'll cold call all the other people in and around the area that do steel roofing, and we'll give them the leads for free. And then when they sign one of them, and they're like, oh, these guys are great, now they love you. Now you've got friends, right? Okay, we do steel roofing, but if you need just normal roofing, you got to contract these guys, Condor. They're great guys. They're helping us with our business. You're going to get those reviews. You're going to get those ratings. You're going to get those positive business signals. You're going to get actual word of mouth sales from that. And not only this, we're going to charge them a rent for this, right? We're going to collect all the leads for this, but then we're going to sell the leads to them, right? We're going to be like, okay, $500 a month or whatever it is you want to pay, $100 a month, whatever it's worth to you. You're going to pay us $100 a month, but we're going to give you all the leads that we get for steel roofing because we don't want to do that for whatever reason. Like, I might be a terrible example. You might be like, of course they would do that, Josh. Why wouldn't they? I don't know. Maybe, I don't know construction. I know I'm wearing a plaid shirt, but I don't know construction from, this is like a rocker look, not like a worker constructor look, I don't know construction, like my wife does all that shit. I don't, believe it or not, I don't know construction from a hole in the ground. So maybe they do steel roofing. I don't know. I got to ask the client, right? Or I can ask ChatGPT if I don't want to look dumb in front of the client. But I'll be like, do you do the steel roofing? And they might be like, no, it's too expensive. We don't do it. But we know guys who do. Fine, we'll send them the leads. The more I get this site ranking for, the more trust I give it, the more success I give myself, the more success I give my customer, the more it's a win-win-win business relationship of them making money moving forward and me making money and helping them make more money moving forward. Because at the end of the day, that's what an SEO is. We are a business consultant. We are here to make you more money. And if we're not making you more money, then we're not doing our job.
Amen to that.
I hear somebody. Ryan, how you doing, my friend?
Surprise. I heard we had a halftime show I had to get on for. Just kidding.
Yeah, it's the halftime show. How's it going, my friend? What's new and local for you?
Oh, what's new and local? Oh man, so much. I am cooking some cool tests. Kind of playing with. You remember I was saying I was doing like that kind of seed stuff in the past, so playing with lots of that, which has been fun.
Hmm.
But in like business wise, I'm now more working like on growing the business, which is cool, as opposed to like working right in production, which is nice. So we need to spend time building new tactics and getting some research out there, and it's almost like fun again because you get into do like dig in. So yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Right, right
Yeah.
on. Awesome. So
Yeah.
today, just get right up to speed. I'm doing some over the shoulder, actually showing people how I do SEO. By all means, chime in if you have any thing to add for there. I'm sure you will. And let me check quickly to
Yeah.
see if there's any questions.
I saw near me searches on that page there.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm assuming the person wants to rank for near me.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
I'm sure they do. But that was
It's
different. That was for El Dorado Hills, California.
yeah, the near me is going through a bit of a unique journey in the last couple of years.
Definitely.
I it's there used to be a time when you could dominate a whole wide area near me. But not so much anymore because Google knows
Yeah.
that when someone's searching near me, they really just want someone who's actually like near them. I
Right.
am currently in the process of spending 1 billion and 1 credits in local Falcon and reporting tools to do a bit of a longitudinal look at or a observational look at near me, different locations, looking at businesses. It's going to be in a specific niche. It's kind of to answer a question for a client, but I think it's going to be good information to kind of see actually the inner workings of it. Some people do sometimes get really stuck on near me when there's even better value ones out there. If I were to kind of like give my
For
quick
sure.
2 cents on it.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think it's a good thing to remind people that just because the keyword is El Dorado Hills near me doesn't mean you want to put near me in the title and near me in the
correct.
page. That's
Yeah.
not what upstanding businesses would do. So there's a
No.
different way that I would handle that
And
personally.
that's not how you train an AI to say that you service an area. So AI, you got to think about it. AI is smart now. If I am, let's just say I'm in, I don't know, downtown Vancouver and I'm like pizza joint near me, it just knows that it's going to be near where my location is. Um,
Exactly. Yeah.
and so if you optimize for just the word near me, um, I don't know what you would show up for, to be honest. And that's
Nothing
why,
anymore. Yeah,
yeah,
that wouldn't work. Yeah.
and that's why we always talk about, that there's that city service infrastructure, right? The service area that you get in. Because so long as Google knows what you're servicing, that's how you'll get behavior near your service area. In a bit,
Yeah.
there's a bit more to it with GMPs, but
Yeah, yeah. There's a whole structure you need to build out. Yeah. So again, if you have any questions about that, email me at josh@bashinsky@gym.com. You can learn to do it yourself, and or if you're thinking of services to do it, you should definitely contact Ryan as well. He's my go-to guru when it comes to local stuff. Although we have many more local students in the mastermind group as well. Some guys are watching right now actually. Renee says, "Woo, hey Renee," and Nick B
all right.
says, "This looks great. I'm glad you like the look of it." So let's continue on with the over the shoulder. So yeah, so that's the next thing I did for these guys. First, I did a page audit that I think I charged them $44 as an introductory price. If you can charge money for it, do. I might have done it for free. I can't remember if I did it as a promo. But even getting paid a little bit to do it, if you can, it shows that you're valuable. It shows that you're worth it. If you can charge, do. But if you're like, I'm not going to even be able to get $44 for this, I need to get some customers in the door, I need to get more clients, then you might want to consider doing it for free. Given that it took me, 20 minutes to make the page audit, and that was copying and pasting stuff from SEO Copilot. When we have this new feature in SEO Copilot built for the on-page audits, it'll be like 4 clicks, and it'll take you 5 minutes of work. It'll take the system 20 minutes to run the report. Okay, so what was this niche keyword report that I did for them? So the next important step to do for these guys was to run all these different keywords to find what were the actual good businesses that they should be in, what were the actual good keywords they should be going for. You might be like, Josh, isn't that kind of beyond the purview of an SEO consultant? And my answer is no, no. Don't assume your client knows how they're going to make money. Don't assume they know how to do a SWOT analysis. Don't
Mm,
assume they know how to make money online, right? That's
yeah,
our purview. That's where we SEOs have the experience for the last 30 years. I mean, they very well could know how to make money online, and they might have some very strong ideas there, and they might be resistant to your consulting in that regard. So you got to test that water out for sure. But test that water out and be like, have you ever thought of this? Like, look at these keywords I found. Look how much money roofing is doing. Do you guys do roofing? That's how I did. That's how I sold it to them. I pitched it. I was like, "Do you guys do
mm,
roofing?" And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Wow, look, it makes good money. You really should
mhm,
consider offering that service." And they're like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, okay, sure, I will." And it was that
yeah,
easy, right? And if they're like, "No, we want to stay with what we do here. We want to do this. We want to do that," you'd be like, "Okay," and then just flag that in the back of your head, being like, "Okay, well, the stats look really bad in my keyword ROI for that particular service." But the KRB can be way off, right? The KRB keyword revenue ballpark can be way way off. Like I
mhm,
showed them, Ryan. I don't know if you were here for roofing. It was $44 CPC. It was 30 searches a month for El Dorado Hills, California. And so the keyword revenue ballpark was only um, like whatever it was, $40 a month or $54 a month.
yeah. But the
So
jobs are worth more than that.
of course, like a roofing
Yeah,
job is like worth 15 grand or 10 grand or 15
yeah,
grand, something like that.
yeah,
So if you get 5 to 10 of those customers ranking number one, which is about the 30% traffic percentage you probably
Yep.
get for ranking number one. That stat's been the same for like 20 years, plus or minus 3%, like 36%, 30%, that kind of a deal. It's usually around a third, 33%. And if you convert 5% of those, so if you convert, one, two of those customers, you're making 10 to 30 grand that month. So, but if you don't convert any, you're not going to make any for a couple of months. So that number 54 is a revenue ballpark, but it is a good apples to apples comparison. And so if you're like looking at all, like we want to do steel roofing, that's all we do. And I showed how steel roofing makes $0. No one's bidding on it. Even though it's up 200% in the last 6 months, it's big in that area for some
Yeah.
reason. You could be like, okay, sure, I'll rank you for that. But you could be in the back of your head like, okay, I'm sure they're going to make some money on it, but there's only 10 searches a month. This is not, and no one is bothering bidding on it, which is a piece of evidence to suggest that it doesn't make very good money. If it did,
Yeah.
people would be bidding on it in Google, assuming it's legal to bid on it in Google. So there is some real marketing, actual hard data there and evidence to suggest this might not be the best business plan. And you might want to suggest it to them. Okay, great, we'll do that, but we should also do this because look how much money it can make. And just kind of say, we should do this. And hopefully the customer's like, yeah, okay, sure, we'll do it. And as I said earlier, I don't know if you were here, Ryan, even if the customer doesn't do it, then you can rank and rent those pages out, right? You can be like, do you know anybody in the area that does this? And they'd be like, yeah, sure. My friend George does this. And so we'll get George to do it, blah, 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 blah. That could be a really good synergy between businesses. They can pass clients back and forth. That's good. That's old fashioned, roll up your sleeves, word of mouth kind of brick and mortar business. And also you could get a monthly recurring revenue income from ranking for those queries, even if you don't do the service. So again, the SEO here should be really kind of the first thing you should be selling them, if you can sell them anything, unless you know they're completely resistant to this, is a keyword ROI niche report where here's where the money is. Here's the keywords I suggest you go for. Here's the report. You give them a discrete report. It doesn't take long to do. You can build good money to do it. You could build up a very hefty looking report very quickly that looks very professional without a lot of work because you take the data from, I'm about to show you exactly how I did it. You take the data from SEO Copilot, you put it in the docs, and then you get ChatGPT to write all the content around it as to why it's important, what you should do, blah, blah, blah. And I even did this. I even got ChatGPT to give me the estimated revenue that they should make in their actual areas if they're ranking for those things, to give actual dollars and give them a good idea of how much money you'd make. And I even highlighted it in yellow.
That's a good pro tip.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want your customer's eyes or anyone's eyes to see something, highlight it in yellow so they'll see it. That's all they'll remember. Look at the money I can make. Look at the money I can make. Look how this is more than this, right? And then you go down, you're like, okay, this makes more money. This is the top 4 we should be focusing on. And this was the one they thought they would focus on. Whereas I found them 1, 2, 3 other areas that they didn't even were thinking of that they could make money, and what areas they can make the money in for that, right? The areas those services are going to be important. So this business consulting is crucial. It's fantastic. It is lucrative. It is useful, and it is part of SEO. It is because we are business consultants at the end of the day. Because let me tell you why it's part of SEO. Because if you haven't read between the lines yet and realized the reason, is because if we can rank them all day long for something that makes them no money, then their business is going to fail and they're not going to have any money to pay us, and then we're going to have to find other customers. So it's our job to make sure they're making money, right?
What's the word for fiduciary duty? Fiduciary?
Fiduciary duty. That's their duty for their company to make money. It's the fiduciary duty. And we kind of have a similar duty in that if as business consultants and marketing consultants and SEO consultants, if we're not making them money, then we're just cutting off our nose to spite our face. We can be proud all day long if we've got them rankings on eight word long tail informational keywords that the AI overview is going to say, thank you very much for the information, and take it and put it there, and then probably not send us any traffic. Those business ideas are dead like a doornail, right? And they were never that great to begin with. I never taught them to begin with. I said, you should always be at the sharp end of the sales funnel. You should always be at the tip of the spear. You should always be where the customer has a credit card and they're ready to make a purchase. That's where you should have it, right? You should always be there because you're going to make your customers more money, and therefore they're going to have the money to continue paying you. In fact, they might be so pleased with the money you're making them, they'll give you a raise. You'll have a better business relationship. I know SEOs who have done this really, really well. Because again, I've been doing this for long. I've been doing this for 25 years. I know everybody, just about. I know of everybody, and I know a lot of people personally. Um, and I know SEOs who've done so well doing this that they're like, look, I don't want to pay you more than $5,000 a month. And they're like, fine, give me 10% of your business. Like not in terms of equity, but in terms of profit. Give me
Yeah.
10% of the profit and I will show
Revenue
you
share.
how I will generate it up and you will make more money and I will make more money. And they do it and it works, right? Because they know what they're doing, because they have the right tools to do it. They know they have the right methodology to do it.
Hmm.
That's another way you can approach it.
Yeah, that's really good too for like the home services businesses. I think like that way it's really easy because you get very much in the home services, you get like click to conversion. Like if someone's searching for a roofer, they need a roofer. They're not like, I want to evaluate a roofer for the next 6 months for when our quarter two comes. But business to B2C, or sorry, B2B can be a little bit harder to kind of capture that from a search point of view because I find it's typically multi-funneled. I all great points. I think it's dope that you put in the lead value into that audit. That's a good pro tip. I don't even do that, but I'm going to be now.
And all I did was ask
Yeah,
ChatGPT. I
yeah,
put the search on, and I said, search in these areas and tell me what, on average, if they sold this much roofing, how much they would make. What on average would they make? And it's
yeah.
like, sure. And ChatGPT wrote that whole thing. I got the data from SEO Copilot. ChatGPT wrote the whole thing.
Mhm. One thing I sometimes find with local that's neat is that sometimes there you gotta check the SERP. So like for example, in the IT support niche, sometimes when you search IT support plus a city, it just shows jobs. Like it just shows an incredible amount of job listings.
Mhm.
And sometimes you want to make sure that the keywords you're targeting don't by any chance fall into like a job listing SERP. Um, so that's one thing I would say that might be like a bit of an approach tip if you're digging through it. Check your SERPs if it's like an if it's not a industry you're familiar with, because like once you build out a bit of an infrastructure for any business type, you can not to say you can completely rinse and repeat it, but you kind of can, especially the local when it comes to city service infrastructure. And so being thorough on those points to make sure you don't, accidentally build a big job board is kind of important.
For sure, definitely. Okay, so let me go a little bit further here and show you guys what else we did. So, and then I took all this information. I found the specific affluent areas. I also asked it what were the high competition zones and the region that has competitive niches, what will be harder to rank for. And then I built this into a table where we got the average revenue, the highest revenue that you could possibly get. And this is also reminding me what I'm going to do for them later on. Roofing in Roseville, roofing in Folsom, roofing in Lincoln, California, bathroom and kitchen remodeling, bathroom and kitchen remodeling, Lincoln. These are the top areas I'm going to be building them out right away, assuming that these are easy keywords to rank for, or assuming that the trust that they've accrued on their business entity already, their domain already, is sufficient in that I know that Google is going to try us for these keywords, and they're going to like the on-page we do for these keywords, and we're going to stick for these keywords. Now you might be like, Josh, that's a little contradictory to how my client wants to work. My client wants to go for the toughest niche right away because they think that'll make the most money. Whether that's actually true or not, they may not even know, or may not even have allowed me to look. And so don't I actually have to try to rank my customer for that right away? The answer is maybe not if you can persuade them to
Mhm.
be like, listen, that's not how Google works, right? This is how Google works. Google, you have to build up slowly, right? You have to build trust with Google. It's like trying to coax a half feral cat, to come living in a cat house you've built for it because you're worried it's going to die. It has to come to you slowly, right? You have to be very, very careful and calm with it. And so, for the SEO perspective, as I've said hundreds of times, and I keep saying, because people keep getting success on it. Uh, in fact, one of my students just got a success recently on it. I hope she doesn't mind me showing this win. Let me show you this win we had here. Uh, I'll show it to you. I'll make sure it's just her data there. Where is she here? Yeah, here it is. Yeah, here it is. So let me share the screen. This really illustrates the point here is that when you get this back, when you get this back, this is Melissa, one of my students. Um, she says this is 99% on page. And for anyone who ever doubts whether or not this group can teach you anything, this is when she lost everything. This is when she started doing stuff and got everything back. And she did that by building uh, Where did she say it? Don't skip the process. Yes, this is all from keyword discovery. That's the point. This is all from going into keyword discovery and finding the easiest keywords to rank for and building on those, because that's how you build up trust with Google. You give them a page, they're like, yeah, you're right. You have the right semantics. You're saying the right things. You have the right expertise. You're saying the right things. You're showing the right authority. You're saying the right things. This is all on page, right? And therefore, I'm going to trust you. That's what EAT means. You're showing the experience and expertise. Oh, Melissa just joined. I hope she doesn't mind. She's going to join and be angry. You showed my win. I didn't want to show that. I hope you don't mind, Melissa. You need to show the expertise in terms of experience, in terms of words. You need to show the authority in terms of on-page words. There's off-page signals for that too. Don't get me wrong. She says it's totally fine. Show it off. Great. Good. You should be proud. You did a really good job. That's where they're going to give you the trust, right? They're going to try you. Ever see like your rankings pop up to page one, they go back down like this? That's when they tried you. And if you stuck, then that's because they're starting to trust you, right? That's what you want. And you build up the traffic slowly over time, and
Yeah.
it keeps going and going.
I have a really good example of this. So there's a client we work with, and they're in like the ERP systems game. So they make like ERP systems. Some examples of OB software is like a SAP Business One is like a software companies might work with. But he builds these kind of automation systems, and his like main keyword that he would want to go for would be like the software consultant and stuff. And for the general terms he's going after, we've been never getting to stick for a while. We had a very thin content site. There was a lot of information for Google to really digest and say, hey, we know what this guy is. We know he's kind of authority. And so for 6 months, we built more of the smaller, easier to rank city service pages where he's servicing.
Yeah.
And just now I checked, he jumped from not on the board to 93 spots to spot 9 for the main software plus consultant term. And it's because
Exactly.
now Google understands what this company is doing, right? And it's not buried down by a bajillion blogs about things around the topic.
Exactly. And you've built up trust. And so Google is now willing to start trying you after you've hit that critical mass, which is relative to all your competitors, which is why I give a very aggressive content velocity strategy in public. In truth, it's all relative to your competitors. If your competitors are only building 2 pages a month and only have 20 pages on your site, you don't have to build as much as I'm talking about. Although you probably should still, because eventually it's a race. You want to get far ahead of them you don't want to be like, oh, I'll just do enough just to get by. You don't want to just get by. You want to bury them, right? And I said, you do this by building 5 pages a day on the easy keywords, very easy average keywords. If you don't have enough, keep doing keyword discovery reports until you get more, and difficulty reports until you get more, and you have enough to build. And they're like, is it long tail? Is it short tail? Is it top of the funnel, short funnel? The answer is, I don't know and I don't care. It says easy and it says it makes money.
Yeah.
I build on that, right?
Yeah. We just build it all. It's like for our local stuff, you can kind of get like a blueprint of like what the total build pretty much is for the most part. And we just like gonna build it all at once. I don't think like some sites will launch, from a staging environment to production all at once with these infrastructures. So I don't think we'll ever like hit a velocity issue on there. Um, but yeah, let's see what these terms we're looking at. We're shaked out. Yeah, all the sub services. Nice.
So these are looking great. They're really, people in this area are really interested in Granite Bay. No one's bidding on it and there's not a lot of searches, but this is what the highest ROI is, right? That's just because no one's bidding on it. I guarantee if you get someone to do this kind of roof for you or something, you're going to be making some money. At the end of the day, I would want there to be a bit more ROI, but I only have the data that Google Ads CPC does. But anyway, the point is that I would start building the average stuff. I wouldn't build the very tough stuff yet. I would even sort it by difficulty first and start building this way if I have no trust whatsoever. Keep building. I would build 5 pages a day, 5 pages a day that only take you 2 hours with SEO Copilot, 25 pages a week, 100 pages a month. After month 2 or 3, you've got a 300-page site. Now you're starting to have the site weight and the trust and the content velocity you kind of need. And if you're like, okay, Josh, but again, back to the original reason why I started talking about all this, and I'm looking at this here, and I'm going to my customer, and I'm like, okay, this is what we should be building. This makes the most money, and it's easy. We should start with this. What if they put their foot down, and they're like, okay, but I want to go for this super hard keyword to begin with. I want to start with roof insulation, and it's a brand new site. They have and it's not recommended by me. That's what not recommended means. I do not recommend that new sites or sick, untrustworthy sites I don't care how long you've been around, 10 years, doesn't matter. How quickly does you do your pages index and rank somewhere in Google? How long does it take them for them to try every single one of your pages on page one? If that takes weeks to months, you are not in a position to rank for this yet, and you're not ready for that job interview. You're going to go to it. You're not even wearing a tie. You got a mustard stain on your shirt. You're going to give a dumb answer to their question, and they're going to punch you out. And they're not going to try you again for many, many months, right? You're going to put yourself in the sandbox. So that's why you have to do this in a specific order. And you do not start with the hard keywords. But what if you're like, but Josh, what if my client demands that I do it? Okay, well, if your client demands you do it after you've given them the polite, positive sales pitch that I just tried to give all you guys, then you go, okay, sure, we can make it. Now, you could be tricky. You can put no index on it and they'll never notice, right? And that way you're not actually trying to go for it. The page is there. I'm like, yeah, there it is. We'll see what it's ranking for it. And we're building I predict in 3 to 6 months we'll be ranking for it. Meanwhile, you're building pages you do have getting indexed, and you can then finally turn the switch. Let's index it and fetch it and see. Google will try it when they fetch it. Boom, like that, right? And you can call Google over, and then once you got the trust, you can be like, oh yeah, here you go. Boom. Hey, congratulations. 6 months. I told you you'd be ranking somewhere for it. We're on page 2. We're at spot 12 for this super hard keyword you wanted to go for, or whatever it is. Or maybe even page 1, but because you built it right. So that's one sneaky thing you can do. They might notice. You could play dumb. You can be like, oh, oops, sorry. I didn't notice the no index on that. And then, oh shit, I have to turn it off. You could actually also, if you know how to use HT access, you could serve a 404 on the page as well. You could give whatever content you want, but the HT access could be 404. It doesn't have to go to a 404 page. And because the HT access says 404 removed temporarily, or 410 removed permanently, Google also will not index it. You could also put it in the robot's text and say you can't robot it. Google will not index it either, presuming they haven't indexed it yet. If they've indexed it already, the robot's text is not going to help. But if you put it in the robot's text first, and then you're like, okay, here it is. Okay, they don't seem to be ranking it. Like I said, we're not really ready to go for that keyword yet. And then you can, there's some more sneaky pro tips of what you can do if you understand how web technology works. And then you can save the customer from themselves. You can save the customer from themselves and get them a whole oodles of ranking that are going to make them money, because you're going by the final return on investment on the smaller keywords, where don't go chasing waterfalls. Stick to the rivers and the streams that you're used to, client. And that's where they need to rank, right? They need to rank on these small little things. Yeah. And then you can turn the switch on that anytime and then look like the hero.
There's a couple of things I think you can do too with SEO Copilot that will help empower you in a debate with an owner. Can you share that screen again?
Sure.
So like, you always want to try and argue, dollars for donuts. And so there's roofing installation. Let's just take a look at that SERP. What does that SERP look like?
In the US, this is what it looks like.
Yeah. So when you're showing the client that he's competing with, this only gets 10 searches a month. All right, client. Now, people here look like they're actually searching for a product. At first, that's going to take a lot of clicks. And so we're going to be fighting for 10 spots beneath all this junk to hopefully get some items. Or for like the same prices it would take to rank for this thing, we can get way more traffic on things with less ads like those other ones. Yeah. I always find that when clients and local get stuck on SERPs, you can show them the battlefield and the football and what the strategy would have to be to say, hey, look, it's 10 searches. Look at all these distractions. How quality of the leads are going to be? And in contrast, the ones you're targeting have very clean looking SERPs and it's obvious service based. That can sometimes help with pushing over that edge.
Indeed. Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. That's a very pro tip. That's a very pro tip as well. I like that. That's very good. Yeah, you look here at the SERP and be like, okay, again, this is not the greatest. This does not have the greatest ROI for us. It's my job to make you as much money as possible, and this is not the best ROI. The better ROI on this for this particular SERP here would be something like wood shake roof. Maybe it doesn't look like a lot of people are actually bidding on any of these. Maybe instead of roofing in Granite Bay, maybe we should be, let's say, because you want to stick to that area, maybe we should be sticking to bathroom and kitchen remodeling. It doesn't look like this area makes a lot of money for anything, or these people are really cheap and they don't bid. But look, I got people bidding $14 on bath remodeling. It's only average difficulty. It's equal. It's about as It's an
Hmm.
average SEO keyword, which is way easier than what people think when I say that, because our difficulty averages are so much better than our
Hmm.
difficulty metrics are so much better than Ahrefs, for example, or anything else. It's like, yeah, you could definitely be ranking for this. There's definite, Granite Bay. These guys don't even focus on Granite Bay,
Yeah.
that kind of a thing. You can be like, look at all
Yeah.
we focus on is Granite Bay. These guys have many different cities. So do these guys. So do these guys. Home Depot, fuck them. Bathfitter, uh, Lincoln is not even Granite Bay. This is a weak SERP that we can get into no problem, and I know it makes money because people are actually bidding for it.
Yeah.
If you got a bathroom remodeling, if you're only going to get 30% of this, say six, then 5% of that, say one person every 1 to 3 months. But if you get that, you got 15 grand from or whatever, you got 30 to 100 grand from a bathroom remodeling contract, right? This is going to make you more money and be way better to go for than that other one we were talking about that was not recommended. So that's what I would guide the customer towards. And I would do all of that through the process of selling them this keyword ROI analysis. This is what I would do. The keyword ROI analysis, I would break them all down here. And then I would say, okay, look, here's the legend. And I got ChatGPT to write all this. All I did was make this table, copy and paste it from SEO Copilot. And then all I did after this was paste in screenshots for the different areas, roofing, this area, this area. And the other 40 pages of this are just screenshots of, look, I've gone through all the keywords, I found all the good ones. Here they are, just on and on and on and on. It looks very impressive, like we did a lot of work, because we did, but we had AI helping us, right? With all this information, getting a sense of the actual query space that they want to be in. And quite frankly, this customer had a lot of query spaces, right? They have a lot of different services they want to offer in a lot of different cities. This is actually kind of a worst case scenario for me. It should have taken me 20 minutes. For most customer, it would take 20 minutes, but because most customers want to rank for 4 or 5 things, maybe in one area, maybe two. These guys wanted to rank for like 50 things in like 20 areas. So that made it more complex. But I was still able to do this very quickly with AI, and it was quite easy to do. And I just got ChatGPT to write the rest. I put it in a doc. I share it with them. Wingo bango bongo, and we're done for that. So that's another way I was able to monetize this particular client and keep them going with more services. From this, they hired me for full monthly SEO consulting, in which I move on to the next service I'm going to do for them, which is the phase one tasks, which is what I'm going to do. Let's see if we have any questions here. No questions at the moment. All right, great. Ryan, do you have any thoughts about that?
I like everything you're saying, to be honest. And I do a similar thing. I almost just export the stuff from SEO Copilot and then like style it and then Excel sheet and send it. But same, all same. I Local's kind of interesting, because you can really just do a bit of math of the cities and services that you're offering. Sometimes people will get confused about the city service pages. Like in some cities, you might have, let's just say, Victoria, and right next to Victoria is another city, and there's no like tree separation, just city to city.
Right.
But your GMB location is in one of the cities. So when you build out your city service pages and you're targeting different stuff, it's more of saying like your service area, and that's the location that would service that area, which is why we build out so much. I have one client, we got their near me search, like going about 13 kilometers in diameter. And they're in like Fort Lauderdale Central.
Okay.
Um, and we did it because we built out this service area infrastructure. We didn't optimize at all for near me. I had not ever once pulled a report for that. And so when you see those near me searches to your client, your conversations with them can be, hey, for us to get this, we got to build out all this. I think in about one of the things they're A/B testing with near me is only showing GMBs on the SERP, like no
Mm,
search results, just GMBs. That was an A/B test that was happening a while ago. So I think they're leaning into what the near me will actually do functionally.
yeah,
So in terms of
definitely.
SERP rankings for it, very diminishing value over time to bring to the SERP for that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah. And okay. So the next thing that we did to show you the next step. So then, okay, fine. They hire me for monthly consulting. Great. Now we move to the actual tasks. Okay. So normally I would do a full site audit. But basically, I started breaking down. I had to do kind of a mini site audit because I hadn't done a full site audit yet. And I've checked, okay, we're going to change the index page from to general contractor and get away from, and roofing and get it away from what it's now currently on, which is bathroom remodeling. They're trying to rank the index page for bathroom remodeling and a sub page for bathroom remodeling. So that's not going to work. So that's the item number one that I'm going to fix. And if I can get WordPress access, I can do that myself, right? Oscar says, good evening. Hello, Oscar. Um, then the next thing I need to do is we need to change the top nav. So the whole top navigation for this site is broken, right? It's not mentioning the right areas, and it's not. It has services and areas. It doesn't have service per area. We're going to need to make service per area based on the best keywords I found from that report that I was just talking about. I need to look at the keywords from the. So this is the next step I actually need to do. I need to look at the keywords from the report. I need to choose the best each service area. I need to build the pages out in SEO Copilot. And then here's another thing I need to do. I need to add perks for all pages using a CKB or a custom knowledge base text for SEO Copilot. I'll talk about that in a second. And then once I have these pages and I say, look, I have all these new pages. Now your developer needs to change the top navigation with all these new pages. And that's at least the very first step that we're going to do is add the pages they should be ranking for. The next thing I need to do is to change the GMB to the new service page after it's moved over. So once the new service page is built, we need to change to the new service page, or we might keep it on the index page, given that we have so many different service areas. I'm glad Ryan's here, actually. I was going to ask Ryan about it. So right now, their GMB points to the index page, and the index page is trying to go for bathroom remodeling in Grass Valley.
Yeah.
I think that's cutting off their nose to spite their face. And what I want to
Yes.
do is I want to just make this a general contracting page and also mention roofing and say on the site how many areas we service and move their either keep their GMB to the index page, or if it has to be bathroom remodeling Grass Valley, change the GMB to the service page. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I have a really good example business that I work with. They're like 34 locations. All of them are map pack in their area. The best structure to do is have the GMB point to the service area page. So think about this: if it's pointing to a page, I might call it a city hub, and it talks about all the cities and services that are going into there, and that's where that GMB is going to service. That's like your insertion point. Now, if you're only doing one city in service, you would point it to that direct one. Um, but that's how I structure it out. And so we have this, instead of it all pointing to just the home, and it points to its actual location specific page. Or it's yeah, might be explaining that right. Am I making sense? It's a bit of
Oh yeah, you're making
yeah,
sense. Yeah. So right now it
it points to
points,
the
like
home
I said,
page.
directly to their homepage, which is loading really slowly for some reason. That's not
Yeah, it loaded a bit
great.
slow for me too. I was even going to bring up the whole where the GV should point, but then I forgot. So
Oh, that's
good,
because
good
I'm
find.
logged into the WordPress. That's why. Okay. So yeah. So going back to here, I think the website could be the kind of hub page because that's what I'm
Mhm.
planning on doing is mentioning all the different areas, but not trying to rank in global rankings the index page per se.
Mhm.
It will weaken the GMB, but they want to spread themselves so far, right? If we wanted to be black hat about it, for optimal map ranking, we would probably try to make them a bathroom remodeling Grass Valley, bathroom remodeling Nevada City, bathroom remodeling
I
Roseville.
think I think they might have somewhat of an infrastructure built. I think I remember seeing city service pages on these guys' site,
Hmm.
but they weren't. They were very like not styled. They were just text.
Hmm.
Can you go to the very bottom? Yeah, click one of those dudes. Yeah, these things.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So they're like halfway there. They just need to style it, add GMBs, make it a bit more, the content. But I think a lot of the pages for the structure is built.
Well, it is indexed,
Yeah,
but I strongly doubt it's getting any.
traffic, me neither. This would you'd hit this page and leave.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 So we need to kind of restructure this whole thing. All the pages need to be definitely considered, and they need to be added. They're listed separately. This service is separate. This service area is separate. We need to have a much larger navigation structure for all these different areas. It
Mm-hmm.
might seem superfluous, but for SEO, that's what we're going to need to do.
Yeah. What I've always done for structure is I've had like what I might call my location agnostic page, where it's just about the service and everything that makes it great for that company. In there, it talks about service areas, and if it has to link to one or two areas, I'll have there. And then all the city service pages that are related to that specific one, I always connect to them to build that relationship.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely some structure needs to be made there for sure. Okay, so let me move on to the next part here. So I need to build these pages first, and then say, okay, here's the pages. I've put them into WordPress. Now we need to change the structure. I might have to not have them approved for public view first, and then once the structure is changed, approve them, or do all of it at the same time. I'd have to figure out how their WordPress is installed and how the best to do that. When I build the pages, though, I want to make sure I add perks. So perks are super important. Not every customer thinks of perks, but you see Google listing them all the time, and Google lists all kinds of perks. I remember from back in the day when there's the Google Business Photographers. I used to know one, and we get to drinking beers. And I've leaked this publicly for years, so I'm not giving away any mastermind group secrets. But he told me that Google told them, and I tested it and it worked, that if you give perks in your Google in your GMB at the time, or now it's GBP, like free parking and things like that, you do get a boost, right? Google wants to
Yeah.
do right by their customers, and if all things are equal and two businesses look kind of the same, if one has free parking and free quotes and free donuts and is LGBTQ plus accessible or
Yeah.
friendly or whatever the hell that means, and is wheelchair accessible, they're going to rank the other one they're going to rank the good looking one as opposed to the bad looking one. So
Mm-hmm.
all those perks matter, right? And also it helps for sales. Again, I'm a business consultant. If I see something business wrong they're doing, at the very least I can point it out and be like, you want to do these kind of things. So that's what I mentioned to the client. I said, you should really have some perks to offer. And he's like, okay, we'll do a free home estimate. We'll do design assistance. We can do material selection and delivery. We can do a seasonal promotion. We can do a complimentary design consulting call and priority scheduling and a referral program. I'm like, great, okay, and a promotional offer. So I'm like, okay, great. What are the terms and conditions for all these? And they're like, and I was getting resistance for this, right? So easy. All I did is I took the list of the things he wanted to do, free and home estimate, design assistance, etc. And I went to ChatGPT and I said, okay, what would be the standard, most common terms and conditions for these perks that my customer wants to offer? And this is what it came up with. This is what ChatGPT came up with. And then I floated it by the customer, and I said, okay, here's a general example of how these terms and conditions should work. And I said, edit these as you will. And he's like, okay, great. And he edited them. So that was the point I'm making here is a number of points. It's like a 5-point point. This is a 5-point point. One of the points is when you get to hurdles, right? When you get to hurdles with your customer, help guide them through it. If you give them too much work to do, or if you give them something too big to decide, or something that's too complicated to decide, or that they just don't want to think about, they're gonna stop, and that literally will kill the deal. They literally will wait the clock out and wait for your subscription, your automatic invoice to get sent, and they're gonna pay it again, and they'll have nothing happen for 2 or 3 weeks, and then they'll blame you, and then they'll quit, and they might even ask for a refund. So you need to
Sure.
be on top of it. You need to manage their expectations. You need to do what you said you're going to do when you said you're going to do it. I have things in my calendar. I say, okay, I'm scheduling this work for this date. I add them to the invite. It's like a calendar. It's scheduled in my calendar, so I don't book any meetings for that time or whatever. And I say, okay, I'm going to do your work at this time. This is the work I'm going to do. This is the hours it's going to take me, and then I do it, right? And then at that time, hopefully I've thought of everything I'll need before that, and hopefully I will have asked them. In this case, I didn't. I had to ask them. Oh, wait, I didn't. Wait, I didn't get access to your Search Console. I need to see if you have any current rankings already. And then the terms and conditions, I did ask them for of the perks last time, but they hadn't done them yet. I'm like, okay, here's some examples of how this looks. And then I got the answer I needed like that. The project can move on smoothly. And so ChatGPT is your friend, right? Again, this show is the free SEO show, but it's also about how using AI for SEO, because that's how you succeed now in 2024 and beyond. In 2025, it almost is. And so I got ChatGPT to make general ones. Did I just take the ones from ChatGPT and put them right on the website? No. Why? Because I'm not a lawyer. I can't give legal advice. I shouldn't be giving legal advice. I shouldn't be doing legal things for them. That is a liability for me, right? But I did send it to the client and I said, you approve these. They said, yep, approved. Okay, now I'm indemnified. Now I have that in email. Make sure you have it in email or a text message or something written. Now I have it in email. Now I'm like, okay, great. Now we can put these on the website. You might want to tell your customer that you're not a lawyer, can't give legal advice. As I'm telling you all now, I'm not a lawyer. I can't give legal advice. Do not construe this as legal advice. I don't know if this is legal advice. This is all hypothetical. But you might want to do that. It just seems to me common sense. Tell them, okay, great. I'm not a lawyer. I didn't run these by a lawyer, but you've okayed them. So, if you want to run them by a lawyer, maybe you should. But here's the terms and conditions you can offer. You're going to need terms and conditions on these perks because dollars to donuts, some client or customer of yours is going to be like, you said you had free in-home consultation and I'm 482 miles away in Denver. So come on, drive over and give me one. You didn't put a limit on where you would do it, right? So you got to have terms and conditions for all these perks. Mm-hmm. You don't want them to be too long, but you don't want them to be too short either. Now, so now what I need to do, now that I have these perks from the customer, now I can go and build out all the pages. Now you might be like, why did you want these perks ahead of time, Josh? Well, I wanted them ahead of time because I wanted the customer to think about them. I wanted to get the best perks possible. It's going to increase his sales. It's going to increase his business. That's my job, is to increase his sales and business.
These are the things too that, like when someone's hitting a service page, these are the things that would be important to someone making that decision too. And so I would almost call these like USPs, unique sales propositions.
Yes.
And it is definitely something that local businesses need to look into. You don't need like anything that's always crazy offer, or it doesn't need to like blow away the competition always, but it needs to be listed there. Because if you don't list it, they just might think that you don't do it. So you kind of set your service up when you're showing those to a bit of a quality standard. 100% you should do this. And I would say it would probably be right next to why I work with this company. Boom, here's some reasons.
Yeah, and actually I just remembered, even before this, he gave me like we'll do free in-home estimates is what he first came back with for a perk. And I was like, okay, great, that's good. Always try to be positive. Do you have any more? Because that one thing, it doesn't look very impressive, right? So I went to ChatGPT and I said, what other kind of perks could a general contractor living in Central California give? And that's how we got all these different perks of all this different stuff. He gave me like 2, and this came back with like 5 or 6. And then I was like, okay, what do you think? And he's like, yeah, good. I'm like, okay, great. What are the terms and conditions for these? I shouldn't be sending these. These are for your business. I'm not supposed to be running. I'm not a lawyer. I can't run the legal stuff for your business. And then I asked ChatGPT for an example of terms and conditions, sent those along, and he approved those. So now in this phase, where I am now, where I actually have to start doing work, this is where I finally have to start doing what people think is SEO work. I did some SEO work previously that people would consider. I looked at niches that we should be trying to rank for. And I also did an audit of the site. So that's true and normal and standard SEO work as well. But some people wouldn't even consider that SEO work, although it is, and it's crucial. It's crucial phase 0 work, right? That has to be done phase 0, or the whole project has the risk of going awry. And you reduce your chances of success by at least 50%, at least, if you don't do those phase 0 things that I mentioned and talked about. But now that the rubber is hitting the road and I actually got to do some work, okay, Josh, how are you going to do it? Well, like I said, because I want to change his top nav, before I tell his designer to do it, I have to give him the new pages and actually put them into WordPress. I've got the WordPress logins, as you noticed. So now what I need to do before I build the pages in SEO Copilot, I need to use a custom knowledge base to write for his particular perspective, for his particular company, with his particular reviews and ratings, and his particular perks. And so that every page gets built, I append to this, and my AI, SEO Copilot, it will build the right keywords that I want to build, right? It's going to build these ones here, like corrugated metal roofing, for example. That might not be a good one to do though. Let's start with the easier ones. Roof gutter repair, gutters and downpipes. I don't know if I'd have to get that from him if that's what we're going to do. But what we're going to do is I'm going to start with the roofing. So I need to go back here and actually just see here. What actually am I actually going to start with here? Go here to the phase 1 tasks. And no, that's where I was. Go here to the keyword analysis. While I'm talking, most of the blood is to my mouth. And so I need to find out roofing in Roseville, Folsom, and Lincoln. Okay. So let's go here. Let's see if I can find roofing in Roseville or Lincoln. Right. So roofing in Lincoln was one of them. We were going to start. We have roofing contractors near me. Great. So I'm going to build this one out. However, I'm not going to build the near me because that's not actual words you want in the semantics, right? So I'm going to build roofing contractors. I'm going to copy roofing contractors. I'm going to copy Lincoln, California. And I'm going to go here and I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to go to google.com. I just want to make sure. I'm going to go roofing, and then I'm going to do Lincoln, and then I'm going to do CA. Is that what they do? Let's see what let's just check quickly what the autocomplete is. That's the autocomplete. They don't type in California. Great. So that's actually, I think it was roofing contractors. It was roofing contractors. Let's make sure. Roofing contractors, was it with an O? Yes, with an O. And then it was in Lincoln, and then California or CA. What do they actually type in? Look, it goes all the way to California. So I think that's literally what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this because that's what I get.
Yeah.
Lincoln, CA. It goes to California, right? That's the first one to check, to select. So this is actually the keyword I'm going to build on. That's the only thing about SEO Copilot is the near me. You got to reconstruct this to the area that you want to rank for.
I always like to think that when I'm working with maybe like an industry that I'm unfamiliar with, like let's just say I were to take on plumbing, I would pull a bunch of keyword research and I would specifically look at the near me ones because if it says near me, to me that says I have a city service infrastructure to build out to make that work. And so that ends up by almost saying if it says near me, I know the pages I'm going to create that will be like my landing agnostic, location agnostic pages that I then also want to build out that geo data on.
Yes. Okay, so let me see. Lincoln, where is it here? Lincoln Park, California. Is that the same place? Here's another issue. Now, I don't necessarily need to add the area. Is Lincoln, CA, and Lincoln Park the same area? Lincoln, California, located in Placer County. Lincoln is District 2. Okay, so this is really weird. This is really odd that SEO Copilot, it never fails whenever I'm doing a guide. Okay, so another trick I can do is I can just select Tuvalu and I can get rid of all of the geolocated areas here. And then I can start the keyword report. I don't really need it because I've got the location in the keyword. So then I'm going to build this report. Once this report is done, I'm going to do the article builder. Now this is why I want the and I'm doing Lincoln first, but I'm going to do all these first, right? Now this is why I want the custom knowledge base for this, and I want to add the free and home estimate stuff. is because when I'm building an article builder, I'm going to show you guys here how the custom knowledge base works. This is how you get your custom knowledge into the AI to build for you. I save a .text file, and I need to use clear and comprehensive instructions. I can include any proprietary information, including products, prices, ratings, relevant testimonials. I can give, it's a writing brief, basically. I can give a writing brief to the AI of how to write things. Then I can upload the knowledge base when I build. So this is what it would look like. It'd be like, use this offer profile, write about this product, use these testimonials, etc. So I'm going to start building this like this. So let's go down here. I'll start making one, Notepad. So I'm going to use these testimonials. This writing is for the general contractor and for the expert general contractor and expert roofing company. Now let's get all their information. Condor Builders. Now I'm going to go to their site. Now I start copying stuff from their site. Expert remodeling and construction solutions to elevate your home. Condor Builders. Good. Now I'm using the branding. I won't use the about us. Reliability communication. I'm not going to use any of this. Sneak peek. Now I'm going to use these testimonials, right? I'm going to try and use these testimonials because I checked they're real. So what I want to do, I can't copy and paste these, sadly. That's not working for some reason. Can I see the testimonials anywhere else? I don't see anywhere else. That's the guy I'm going to get to do it. Okay. Okay. Let me see this here. Let's inspect this. Can I get it this way? I don't see the inspector either. Read more. Now can I get it? Read more, read more. Okay, this is what I will do. This is what I'm going to do. Here's how I'm going to solve this problem on the fly. I'm going to take a screenshot of this. Where the hell? There we go. I'm going to take a screenshot of this. Watch this. Watch this. Here we go. Hey, where's the new ChatGPT? Why did they change how this works? How do you start a new one? Start a new one.
Yeah, click that chat.
There we go. Okay. 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 Paste it in. Boom. Print these out in text, please, with the name above them. These testimonials. Boom. This should work. That ChatGPT should be able to get these for me. I thought I would just be able to copy and paste them. Boom. Okay. William O. Great. Now I go here, use these testimonials. Boom. 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 Use some or all of these testimonials. Okay, so I can do that. Now I can go back here and be like, okay, show me more. Boom. We got just this guy is more. Do this guy. Boom. Hit enter. Go back here. William. Now we got Caitlin, Alicia. Okay, that's all of them. Alicia K and Caitlin on the next ones. Boom, boom. If I had a URL of this picture, I could even get the URL and put that in there. Boom, boom. See how you can do everything fast with AI? Manuel B. Boom, boom. Get that. Go here. Boom. Save this. Save this on desktop. Now this is going to be the Condor CKB. text I'm going to use on every page. Boom, boom, boom. Move this up. Get there we go. There we go. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. And now these guys. Boom. I'm going to say where relevant. There we go. Okay, so now I got the testimonials that could be used. I'm also going to be like, use these perks where relevant. Use these perks in short or in full. Make sure to add them all. At least in a list, if not with the terms as well. So if it doesn't list the terms there, I'll make a separate page. It will depend on if that is going to help me or hurt me in getting the exact word count I need. Because I'm going to need a specific word count to hit the right semantic scores, the right scores in SEO Copilot. I don't want to over optimize. There's keywords in all of these, right? Master bathroom, shower, remodel. There's keywords in all of these. And I don't want to have too many of these. Use 1 to 3 of these testimonials. Okay, now the perks as well that I had here are here. Free and home estimate, I'll take all this. Now that this has been fleshed out and approved by the customer, boom. We take this. Now I've checked the rankings here and good, not great, remodel for proper SEO. They haven't done proper SEO on the blog. I'm going to remind myself that I've checked this now, checked the rankings. We're going to rebuild this whole thing to do something like this, actually. We're going to replace the whole contact form because here's another pro tip. Users hate filling in all this info. Although they do have autocomplete to do most of it, not always do they have autocomplete.
Yeah, you don't necessarily need all that information.
No. If you can take this down just to an email or a phone, email, phone, go. And they can click that and go. I'm going to change this perks. I'm going to ask that his designer to change this perks with the perks and with this floating contact to always have it either on the side like this in a design thing or at the top like this if it's a mobile. So they can always convert, right? You always want the conversion of this floating contact box form. And I'll use ChatGPT to construct it in HTML and CSS and then say, use something like this, style it as you see appropriate. And that way I can get the designer to do exactly what I want. Again, the more work you do for somebody else and just say, just do this, it's easy, here you go, the more things will get done and they'll get done right. The way you as a business consultant who need to work with multiple teams, we need to work with the design team, sales team, marketing team, maybe the writing team, CEO, the strategic decision maker that we had to sell to. You always want to sell to someone and talk to someone at the company who has decision-making power so you don't have to jump through hoops. You don't want to give your best sales pitch to a low-level PM who's like, great, well, you sound like a great SEO, but I can't hire you. Let me talk to my boss's boss. That's not what you wanted. You wanted to talk to the boss's boss. You always ask, are you the decision maker? Is there someone that, for us to save time, I should be talking to? You want to be talking to the top decision maker there. But anyway, for this form, I want to give them a full in ChatGPT, HTML and CSS to say like, look at in mobile, it'll be a top thing that's always there when we scroll. In desktop, it'll be a thing that's always there when we scroll. That's what we want to do. So anyway, I'm going to take this terms and conditions, go back here, the perks, boom, there's the perks. Okay, so I'm going to take these just to make sure that ChatGPT doesn't ignore or forget all this. Boom, 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 bling. boom. Got the volume so loud, my eardrum almost burst from there. Boom, boom. Complimentary design consulting call. Oops. I hate how Windows does that. If I just delete something, it automatically copies it to the paste buffer. I fucking hate that.
That'll drive me insane.
I hate that feature. I want to turn it off. I detest that feature. More instructions below. If you format it a bit for CP, CP will do a better job. CP is our writer, our high quality writer. Okay, here we go. So that's pretty good. Always show expertise. Okay, I'm going to say, I don't have to see this, but I'm going to do it. Use these rules. Always show expertise. Always add value. Always help the reader make their best decision on this topic of what to do and how. It's going to do that anyway, but it doesn't hurt to remind it. Okay, great. So now I have the Condor CKB. So once I have the CKB, the custom knowledge base, now I can go back to SEO Copilot and I can use that to generate an article. So let's see if the report's done, and then I can do that over the shoulder so you can see. At least we can get one of these done. And I can get my job. See, I'm doing my job right now, just showing you how I do this. I'm killing, again, two birds with one stone. Good, so the roofing contractors link in California is done, great. Let's click the report just to quickly survey it. We've got, oh look, roofing, roof, and the California Lincoln Contractor Services Repair, great. The rank brain model is built. The BERT model is built. Oh, we have the query interpretation, AI, analyzed roofing services and contractors in Lincoln, California. Reviews and comparisons of roofing contractors in Lincoln, California. Great. So now it looks like they want to list different contractors, right? So, okay. So I might need to add in a couple others and make like a fake affiliate page. We'll see. The competitor HTML widgets is got high quality signals. It's got prices. It's got testimonials. Great. It should use that. It's got free estimates and things like that. Fantastic. Oh, there's more I could add it. That's a good idea. Now that I see that it wants this, I'm going to add it. I'm going to go back to Condor here. I'm going to go back to Condor here, and I'm going to add this into the custom knowledge base. Great, because I want to fill in all the holes of the widget if I can. So let's go back here to Condor. Let's get their contact information. Here we go. Their address, all their business information. Their contractor license number might not hurt either. All the business signals that these guys are professional. Let's go here to the, nope, wrong text file. Where did I save it? Where did I save it? Recently, here it is. So in the recent files, I found it. Here, boom. No, that's just what I opened. Here, boom. There we go. I had it in OneDrive. Okay. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Use this info on this. Write all the content from an expert third-party perspective for these to promote in advertorial style this business. Boom and boom. There. Now we have always show these rules right from this perspective. Use these perks. Boom, 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 boom. Great. Now I want to do one more thing. If there is no room and you need more room for helping the user, only list the perks in a short list with no details. So I don't want it to just give the perks and not give the users any information there. Okay, so now we close this. Great. So now what we do is we optimize. Is we go here to Copilot. Perfect. Now we go boom here. And now we use all the data that we've collected. So we go to generate article. It's got the right topic. We're going to use the AI analysis. We're going to use the custom knowledge base. I'm going to import the file, which probably is in my OneDrive here. Probably, is it in documents? Where did it go? No, it's probably here. Yeah, here we are. Boom, boom. Okay, so we added the Condor CKB. We can also do the title and meta description at the same time and the URL and say go. Yes, boom. All right, so now it's building with our HQA 2.1 system with the custom knowledge base. Now this could take a couple of minutes to do, and so we're going to see how well it gets done. So I'm going to stop the share on this. So Ryan, do you have any other thoughts that you want to add? This has been an hour and a half, so I'll probably just let that go. So that is, over shoulder how we're doing the work. The article is going to come out, and I'm going to need to edit it and massage it and check things out. I might need to tweak my CKB because I'm like, oh, I gave it a wrong instruction. I didn't realize that, blah, 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 blah. But that's just how to use SEO Copilot now. So that's more about how to do SEO Copilot than how to do this over-the-shoulder tutorial. If people want more information on how to use SEO Copilot, by all means, I offer free courses pretty much every Friday. Go to SEOCopilotai.com, click on resources, and it's one of the first links. And sign up for the free on-page course. It's a no-brainer. Why wouldn't you take the free course? Sign up for the free on-page course, and I will show you how I would use SEO Copilot and stuff like that. Ryan, let me know if you have any other thoughts. I'm going to check to see if there's any questions here on the YouTubes.
I like how the outline's built into the super important for local. The way I always look at when you get things like that is that, the perks and all that stuff that's, applied to one service and area typically can also be almost the same perk stuff that's applied for like a second city service and area. So in terms of like if you're thinking about building out pages quick and you get these assets made for doing your prompt engineering and working with SEO Copilot, you end up getting them out pretty quick and get those quick wins too. To kind of bring you back is that sometimes the client's like, hey, we want to go for this big keyword, but we got to build through all of this stuff quick before we go for that. But if your plan is to build things quick enough to where like the difference is a couple of days because you're building it all right away, then you might be able to take some liberties. But I do like that you have that built into there, and definitely something that you need to do. Very important because people aren't just clicking on pages; they're making sure it meets their needs and there's good reputable people doing the service.
Yeah, I mean it's so important to make custom pages that are going to actually sell to the customers that you're trying to attract for your customer. I think too often in SEO and for too many decades, SEOs have been kind of like, well, I got you traffic from these 8-word long tail keywords.
Yeah.
I did my job. I got you ranking number 1. If you're not selling, it's not my problem, but it is your problem because the customer's gonna be like, great, well, you didn't give me any sales. Thanks a lot. I just wasted all this money with you. I'm not getting any sales, so you're fired. So it is going to be your problem. So that's why SEOs, you need to take it as a professional business consultation from the very beginning. And you need to work it that way from the beginning so that you make the customer money, so that they make you money, and you keep the business relationship going for the long term.
Totally. Right. And don't be afraid. I know sometimes you get so stuck in like the SEO world and, entities and percentages and internal linking. Don't forget to learn the business too. Don't forget to like go through what a customer's journey might look like, what a bad experience, a good experience, like understand what's going on in their world because it will translate into the content that you work. Right. Like don't be afraid to learn about the business. Don't just learn about the SEO to write for the topics. Because that will come into better page design, better recommendations. The client will pick up on it when you start using the lingo that's in their industry too. It looks really well.
Awesome. All right. Doesn't look like there's any questions on the tube views. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for joining, Ryan. Again, if you guys have any questions at all about any of this stuff you saw, If you're thinking of joining Underground Mastermind University, I got huge discounts for people who are also SEO Copilot customers. And if you want a discount for SEO Copilot, I can help you out there too. And any other SEO questions you might have, fire them off to joshbachynski@gmail.com. That's JOSH, B as in Bob, ACH, Y as in YouTube, and as in Nancy, SKI@gmail.com. Ryan is also my go-to local guru. I'm probably going to get him to change that GMB later on, more than likely. So Ryan, why don't you give out your contact info so people know how to get good local stuff from you?
Yeah, one, if you guys do join the mastermind group, I'm in there always answering questions. So you can always find me there. But if not in there, you can reach me at ryan@amazingrankings.ca. That's rankings with an S. I'm always happy to get back to you. I am still working on getting my branding up. I actually am meeting with my branding coach in about 30 minutes. So I'll be prepping for that. So soon I'll be sending you to a website.
Awesome. Yeah, soon you're going to have a landing page. Woohoo.
Yeah,
Like we're professionals at making landing
yeah,
pages because we are, but we're so busy making landing pages for everybody
it's
else. We don't have
true.
time to make our own landing page. And my
It's true. It's
landing
like,
page for the mastermind group is woefully out of date. The images thing broke for some reason. So I'm like, I don't even want to go back to this. I have too much to do. So that's pretty par for the course, though. The web designers always usually have the worst website, or the SEOs have the worst website.
right? Cooks don't cook at home. Yeah. And
Yeah,
marketers don't
exactly.
market
Yeah,
themselves. Yeah,
exactly. When a chef
hopefully,
gets
yeah.
home, they don't want to cook anymore. They're like, I'll just microwave a mac and cheese, and eat
Yeah.
it sad in front of the TV is what usually happens. All right,
Yeah.
guys. Well, thanks for
All
listening.
right.
Thanks for watching. I'll keep you guys up to date as to how this project goes. I'm gonna keep checking in with this, and you can see how I'm building the traffic for these guys as time goes on. I think it'll be a good project to see.
Yeah.
Someone who's been doing it a very long time, and I hope you'll agree, doing it at a fairly high level of professionalism and smoothedness, if I can use that as an adjective, and how we can bring in the customer money. And that's our job. That's what we're here to do, and we're happy to do it.
Yeah.
I'm happy to sit at home and work and do it. That's fantastic. God knows what I'm wearing under this shirt. I can just come down here and do whatever I want. It's pants. I'm wearing pants. Don't worry.
Yeah.
They're pants. They may
Yeah.
not be the nicest pants, however, because I can do this from home. All right, guys. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Ryan, thanks again for joining, as always.
Always a
And
pleasure.